made money in Philadelphia for decades, but business isn't exactly what it used to be for the local mob.
Fox 29's Dave Schratweiser looks at the new ventures they're exploring to keep up their influence in the city.
Boss of the mob at home.
For mob boss Joe Legambi, the living is easy. 74-year-old wise guy can be seen most days relaxing at his South Philadelphia home after 2 juries failed to find him guilty on federal racketeering charges. He was released after 2 long trials and almost 3 years behind bars. But while he's chilling at home at 17th and Federal, trouble is brewing over who controls the local wise guys and the ever-dwindling mob dollar.
Everybody's getting out. The pie's a little smaller. That money's not out there anymore. They might think that they got, divvies on it, and there's going to be some problems. Could something happen? I think there's a recipe there for violence, absolutely.
The aging Legambi has told some he's done running the mob. Insiders say he may not be up to the task of unifying 15 to 20 made guys on the street, while dividing up the ever-shrinking gambling dollars and finding new ways to make a buck.
Bookmaking, numbers, all that's legal now, and they've faded a little bit. You got the Russian mob that's coming on, you got the big drug people, so they're actually falling down a ladder.
Got it.
With gambling in the once popular video poker business fading by the day, the wise guys have turned to new business ventures trying to make money, like internet gambling cafes, state lottery stands, even the auto repair business and trash hauling. They've dabbled in the home improvement business, storm window replacement, flipping homes for profit. They've even tried the hardwood flooring business.
Where do you breed these businesses? Well, you got to have people out there to know what's going on. If they know what's going on, then they can approach them and say, hey, we want our tribute.
While none of those new ventures have proven to be big money makers yet for the mob, deciding who gets what share of the shrinking mob dollar translates into trouble on the horizon. There are now 3 mob factions on the street. Former mob boss Joey Merlino's crew, headed by acting boss Stephen Mazzone, Joe Legambi's skeleton crew of wise guys, and members of the old Nicky Scarfo mob, who are just now returning to the streets after nearly 3 decades behind bars.
If you don't get somebody to step forward that can consolidate all that, which is probably the biggest problem confronting them, you're going to have a big problem.
In my opinion, it'll never happen.
Mob insiders like this former wise guy who asked us to conceal his identity say bringing these 3 mob factions under one leader and sharing those shrinking mob resources is near impossible.
It's a time bomb waiting to explode.
Former Philadelphia Police Captain John Appledorn ran both the homicide unit and the organized crime unit during the 90s.
They were dropping bodies all over the place. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to go back to that.
If somebody steps over someone's territory or into somebody's territory, that's where we have what?
Well, that's where you have the big bang.
In the end, the government's going to bury all of them.
In addition to the current leadership void, the shrinking mob dollar, and the usual infighting, the local wise guys also have to keep an eye on 2 ongoing criminal cases involving 2 of their own. If those cases go bad and 2 suspects decide to turn on the wise guys, it could be a lot of problems in the future. They won't have to worry about who's the boss and where the next buck is coming from. They'll have to worry once again about staying out of prison. Dave Schratweiser, Fox 29 News.